Yes guys, how are we doing? So I want to make a little series. We're going to be doing a learn to fly FPV, and today I'm going to talk to you about things that I've learned flying the DJI FPV, mistakes I've made, little setup things that's going to help you fly better and hopefully not make the same mistakes that I've made. Now, I've had lots of DJI drones. I've used them for like work and I've used them for holidays and things like that, and this is completely different. So one of the first things that I did when I bought the DJI FPV was I started flying in a simulator that you get with this, and it is bad. It makes it seem impossible to fly manual. So what I would recommend is getting something like Velocidrone. Now, Velocidrone is only £17. There's tons of different quads you can like assign to your profile in there. So many different tracks, and it feels almost like you're flying. You can do horizontal mode, angle mode, and rate mode, so you're actually in acro mode, and it will enable you to practice a lot. I think I'm up to about 36 hours now, so I would 100% recommend getting a simulator first, and it'll give you that confidence for getting into FPV. So first thing we're going to talk about is the propellers, okay? So on each of the propellers, there's a little marking on the middle. This one's got a red one, this one's got a grey one. On the drone, you've got a red marking here and a grey here. So each propeller has to go on the right motor, or else the drone won't fly right, and you'll be like me, stuck in a field trying to wonder out why it's not working properly, okay? Right, let's talk about these batteries, because this is something that I did not know. These batteries are like, I think it's £190 in the UK for two, or maybe £190 for one, I think they are. They're expensive. They will only run in full manual mode or acro mode. This battery will last about 8 minutes, so it's not a lot of flight time. You know, I didn't realise that it'll only last for 8 minutes. So that one pack you get at the start, if you only get one battery, you're going to be really limited, especially if you go somewhere for the day to fly, and then you've only got one battery, which is going to run for 8 to 12 minutes, say, and then you're done for the day, unless you go and charge it. So you can buy the Fly More pack. It's okay, it's pretty expensive. So the other problem that I found with these batteries is apparently they only get 100 charge cycles and then they're dead. The FPV Controller, it will only work on the DJI FPV drone. It's pretty cheap, it feels okay, but my main problem is that the sticks are very short. It feels like a controller for your Xbox, but for me, it's very, very sensitive. If you want to fly in manual mode, you've got to take off the little bit on the back here, and there's a screw which you can tighten inside clockwise, and that will release the throttle. See how it stays at the bottom and then it goes all the way up to the top? So it comes all the way down and it stays there. What you don't want is the throttle to be bouncing up and down, like returning like this. You want to be able to select your place and it stays there. So that's the first thing to know about the controller. So if you want to fly in manual, you have to remove the back. It's only a few clips, and then you have to tighten in the Allen key, and that will allow the throttle to go like this. If you're going to go in the simulator, do this before you do the sim, and then you can practice with the throttle like that. So let's talk about these goggles, right? These antennas are slightly different to the stock ones, but the stock ones are fine. In the UK, we can only fly within our visual line of sight, so everything that comes with this is good to go. I'm in a nice big park today, there's no one here, so the stock antennas are going to be plenty of signal that I need. Now, this is something that I bought recently, which is really good. Big fat strap, sits really nice on the head, super comfortable, and it holds the battery in the side. So definitely recommend getting one of these. Right, let's talk modes, okay? So you've got 3 modes. You've got normal mode, sport mode, and manual mode. Now, normal mode is pretty much the same as any other DJI drone. It will hover for you, it holds its position, and it won't really move unless you give any input to the controller. Now, sport mode will allow the drone basically to go faster and to crash into objects, and it won't allow the drone to bank too far. I think it's like 45 degrees or something. Now, manual mode means that you'll have to put in the throttle yourself, so you'll be in control of how much thrust the quadcopter gets and how high and low it goes at all times. Now, the beauty with the DJI FPV for beginners is that you can switch between normal, sport and manual whenever you want. So if you're flying and you feel a bit lost or you're not too sure what you're doing, you can put it in normal mode and it will hover. Or you can press the air brake. We'll get onto that in a sec. So that's one of the really good things about the DJI drone is you can take off in normal, and then when you're at a good height, you can go into manual mode and fly away. Right, and before we fly, I just want to talk about this really cool feature called the air brake, which is here, okay? So when you're flying, if you're trying to go through some trees or you're a bit nervous or something happens, you can literally hit this button and the quadcopter, the FPV drone, will just stop exactly where it is, and it will allow you to think about what you're doing and maybe change position or go somewhere else. This is insane. I've got another little FPV and it doesn't have that. So this is a great feature, which is really good for beginners. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it for a little flight and I'll talk you through it. Easiest ways I found to start is by taking off in normal mode. That means you don't have to control the throttle so much and it will hover for you. And it's an easy way to start, and then you can put it in sport mode afterwards. Right, so we're going to go for a quick flight so you can record it in the goggles. We're going to put it in normal mode, which is on the top of the button. Both analog sticks down. Right, there we go. So you can see that in normal mode, the drone will just fly nice and smoothly for you and allow you just to turn and fly as you want without any need to use the throttle or hold the actual drone in the air. It behaves just like a normal Mavic would. So you can sort of like roll and bank. You can use the throttle to go up and down. It's just that the controllers are slightly different. Now, one of the first things I found when I started this was that I got really sick. This motion inside of the goggles made me feel incredibly sick. So you can either get a chair to sit down on, or you can just stand and bear with it and do short spells in the studio. Right, so we're quite high. We're going to go into sport mode, which is the middle, and you'll see now that the drone is a lot more aggressive in the terms of the way it flies. It'll allow you to bank faster, turn harder, lift higher, and it will allow you to crash into objects. So anytime you can put it back into normal mode and then it goes back exactly where it was before. Now this air brake, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go straight towards myself here, which might work, might not work. So this air brake that I was telling you about before, all you got to do is go straight forwards, and there. That stops it exactly where it is, and it allows you to stop, say someone's coming over to talk to you, or you don't really know what's going on with the situation. You can stop and you can say, right, what's going on here? So that is a great option. Now, manual mode. You'll need to go into the DJI settings on your goggles to enable manual mode first, but it's best off being nice and high. This, on the right hand side, you can control your camera angle, right? Camera angle is really important because it dictates how much the drone will be banked over. So you want to set something quite low so then the drone isn't going very fast at the start. So you go straight down into manual mode. You'll need to put the sticks in the middle. It gives you 2 green boxes to enable it. And once you're in there, it will like release the drone and you'll feel the throttle will drop, and now you're in full manual mode. And now you can fly and you can lift exactly as you'd like to do without any restrictions in terms of how far you want to bank or how fast you want to go. You can adjust the camera angle to make the drone go faster, but when you're starting out, I would definitely advise keeping it nice and low so that it gives you quite a smooth fly and it's easy to control. You can see the drone is fast. Right, so we're going to test out the air brake mode again, right? So we're flying across here, someone's coming over to talk to us, hit the controller, boom, straight back into normal mode. And it's going to hover there, which is amazing. So we're going to go back into sport, down into manual. It's dropped us straight in there. You can feel the drone dropping straight away. Now in this video, I've only got 7 minutes of battery left already. But it flies, for beginning, I think it flies really nice and smooth. you hear a lot of people will talk about rates and what the rates are and what your rates should be. For me, being a console player, I like a lot of stick movement because I find that the way I hold the controller, I'm not a pincher, so I like to be able to move the sticks a lot so I can get the drone flying nice and smooth, or what I think is smooth. So my rates, I have the drone turned right down, so it barely barrel rolls. Just while I'm learning and like starting this path, I want to be able to like smoothly turn the drone rather than it flip over 1,000 times. Now when you're ready to land and you've gone through your 190-pound battery, the best thing you can do is flip it back into normal mode. It's going to hover the drone. You can lift your goggles up, come straight back to your landing pad or whatever you got set out, and you can just visually bring the drone in. So you can just visually watch the drone, slowly bring it down, check your landing area, and then you're done. So the other really good thing about the drone is the return to home function. So this enables the drone, if you lose signal or if you lose battery or for any problem that you have, you can literally return it and it will come straight back to exactly where you are. So you can see now the drone's going straight up and it will come down and land. Now I'm going to cancel it because I don't want it to fly so high and return to home to me. But in theory, that will come straight back and land where we are here. So I'm going to put it back into manual mode, get back on the controls. That's me done then for the day. So if you like the video, do all that sort of stuff, and let me know if you want to see more sort of stuff like this, because I'm going to do a whole series on learning to fly, hopefully. Now how am I going to pack all this shit away?